In this video, I'm going to be giving y'all the best point guard build in NBA 2K22 Next Gen. But first, if you're looking for somebody to grind your badges, hit up Elite Badge Grinding. They're super fast and 100% legit. Click their links in the description and let them know Hambo sent you. Also, if you could do me a quick favor, scroll down, smash that big red subscribe button, as well as like the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, so boom, we are in the My Player Builder. And for this build, obviously, we are going to be a point guard, and that's pretty much the only thing that matters on the screen. For the body settings, what I went ahead and did is drop my height down 1 to 6'2". In my opinion, this is a nice balance between speed and still having good defense. For your weight, you're actually not going to want to drop this down all the way to minimum, as you guys might think. I mean, just look at the perimeter defense versus if you just put it up a little bit to 174. You'll still be super duper fast, basically the same speed if you're on minimum, but you just have way better defense this way. And then for the wingspan, I decided to put this up to 6'9". And the reason for this is because, as you guys can see, the driving dunk is at a 92, and this is where you get elite contact dunks. Onto the attributes screen, starting things off with our finishing attributes. First, you're going to want to max out your driving dunk to a 92. You will, as I said, get elite contact dunks. Next, for driving layup, bump this up to an 83. And then finally, for the close shot, you're going to want this all the way up to a 91. These three attributes are the most important finishing attributes. Honestly, you don't really need close shot super duper high, but this is just the best way to maximize badges. Next, for your shooting attributes, start things off by maxing out your 3-point ball. That's super important. And then for your mid-range, you could go max, but I'm going to go all the way down to an 81. As you guys can see, I'm going to have 28 shooting badges. On this build, you can just shoot the lights out of the building and green extremely consistently. And also, you can get every single important shooting badge on at least gold or higher. Scrolling down to playmaking, you're going to want to max out both ball handling and speed with ball. Actually, I changed my mind. We're dropping down the ball handle 1 rating to 89. This is just the best way to maximize badges on this build. Now, as far as the whole pass accuracy on 25 goes, I actually decided not to upgrade this. In hindsight, I do wish I had a little bit of pass accuracy, which is why I'm going to be showing you guys a variation with pass accuracy. Even with 0 pass accuracy, however, I'm 100% fine. I designed this to be an isolation build, and when you are isolating, it's definitely 100% okay. And then when you do have screens and you have to hit slips, it's also fine because lobs aren't super OP this year. If you guys do want to go 0 pass accuracy, trust me, you 100% can if you want to. But I am going to give you guys a variation of this build with pass accuracy for those of you guys that want it. Scrolling down to defensive/rebounding, starting things off with your perimeter defense, you're going to want this at an 89. Scrolling down to your steal, you're also going to want this at an 89. And then finally for your block, you're going to want this at a 56. As you guys can see, in total, I have 21 defensive badges. On the perimeter, this build is definitely going to be very, very good. And then the block is at least high enough for it to have an impact on the defensive end whenever you do jump at a dunker. It's not to say that you guys are going to be a rim protector on this build, but if you do jump at someone going up with a layup or a dunk, 2K will at least take into account that you are there, and then sometimes you will get a good animation or the dunk will miss. Also, you do get Bronze Intimidator, which is very helpful. Scrolling down to your physicals, first for your speed, you're going to want to basically max this out. You're going to want this at a 91. And then for your acceleration, you're going to want this maxed at a 92. Scrolling down to vertical, bump this up to an 85. This will allow you to get these small contact dunks, which in my opinion is actually the best dunk package in the game. I mean, just look at these animations. And then finally, throw the rest of your attributes onto stamina, you will end up with a 94 stamina. In total, this build has 100 badges, which is absolutely crazy. It's able to do pretty much everything at an elite level. If you guys do want pass accuracy on this build, this is what I would recommend doing. First, for your finishing, you're going to want to drop your close shot down to a 54. And then for your driving layup, you're going to want this at a 76. Then scrolling down to defensive slash rebounding, go ahead, completely delete block, and then drop your speed down 1 rating, and then drop your stamina down to a 92. If you throw all of those ratings onto pass accuracy, you can have a 73 pass accuracy and 29 playmaking badges. It's completely up to you which build you guys want to go ahead and make. Both of them are very, very good. It's just all about if you value pass accuracy or not. If you do want free throw on either of these variations of this build, this is what I would recommend doing. Pretty much just drop your finishing ratings down a little bit so you can have 1 less finishing badge. So for this build, I recommend dropping down your driving layup to a 73. You can have an okay-ish free throw, which is good enough to be able to hit free throws consistently. And then if you're making the other build, go ahead, drop the close shot down to an 84. Throw these ratings onto free throw, and you can have a 98 free throw. On to the takeovers. For the first takeover, I'm going to go with limitless range, which I do think is very good this year. And then for the secondary takeover, let's just go with spot up precision, since I do love double sharp take. And as you guys can see, I built a 2-way inside out scorer. I don't know if you go with the pass accuracy version of this build, if you get a different name, but this is definitely a very cool name. The reason why I like this 6'2" point guard build so much is because I can do my normal point guard 3-point hunting stuff. And in fact, I can do this at an elite level because I have Hall of Fame quick first step and very good speed and acceleration. In fact, in this gameplay you guys are seeing, I only had gold quick first step and I'm still moving. And then let's not forget, when I do get open, it's gonna be green because I have 28 shooting badges, so I'm not missing. But what makes this build, in my opinion, so good isn't its ability to do the normal 3-point hunting point guard stuff, but its ability to do everything. On the defensive end, it can more than hold its own, especially on the perimeter. And don't even get me started on its dunking ability. As I said, the small contact dunk package is literally the best dunk package in the entire game by a long shot. And very few people can actually unlock the small contact dunk package, which is why very few people actually realize how overpowered it is. I don't rim run a lot, but it's super nice to know that whenever your opponents are playing sides and are playing super high, you can just split the D and get an open dunk. And also, whenever you are isoing, being able to shoot only middies or 3-pointers can be highly annoying. But if you do want more of a classic meta point guard build, I would highly recommend doing something like this instead. Again, we are in the My Player Builder to show you guys a second build that you guys can make. And for this build, of course, you need to be a point guard. For the height, I would recommend dropping this down to 5'9". And then if you also drop the weight down a little bit, as you guys can see, you can get 99 speed and acceleration. You don't need your weight all the way at minimum. 147 actually does end up working. And then for the wingspan, drop this down all the way to 6 foot. You will get 99 3-point and 99 mid-range. For now, we're gonna skip the finishing attributes since that's not really the focus of this build after all. So going straight to shooting, I would recommend maxing out the 3-point rating and then bumping up the mid-range to a 97. You will have in total 40 shooting badges, and as you guys can see, you also have a 67 close shot since that is brought up as well. For ball handling and speed with ball, you're going to want to basically max out both of these ratings. You're going to want your ball handling at a 93 and your speed with ball at a 96. This is just the best way to conserve attributes and maximize badges. And then this build is going to have pass accuracy. You're going to want to bump this up to a 90. In total, you will have 36 playmaking badges and every single playmaking badge that you do need. Scrolling down to defense slash rebounding, first for your perimeter defense, you're going to want to basically max this out. You're going to want this at an 81. And then next for your steal, you're going to want this at a 97. In total, you'll have 22 defensive slash rebounding badges. On this build, I think you have more defensive slash rebounding badges, but since you are just so small, your defense is actually really bad on this build, which does suck. But what doesn't suck is how fast you are going to be on this build if you max out both speed and acceleration. And then of course, also max out stamina. You can't forget that. The 99 speed and acceleration is honestly broken. In my opinion, this is actually the biggest appeal of this build, is just how fast you are. Like, it's actually kind of not fair. With the rest of these attributes, there's a ton of different things that you can go ahead and do. You can get good defensive rebounding. You could go with block and defensive rebounding. You could go with close shot and get 5 finishing badges. But what I recommend doing is maxing out your free throw and then throw the rest of the ratings on the block. You'll have a 43 block. Realistically, the 43 block probably won't do very much against a big, tall slasher, but against another guard, it will definitely be very helpful. For the takeovers, for the first takeover, I'm going to go with limitless range, and then the secondary takeover, I'm tempted to go with, honestly, double limitless, but I'm going to go with a very underrated takeover, and that is team takeover boost. And as you guys can see, I have built a playmaking shot creator. This is, in my opinion, a very accurate name. But with that being said, that is going to wrap it up for the video. If you found the video helpful or enjoyed it, scroll down, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel so you know find next time I'm dropping some more gems on y'all. If you're planning on making one of these builds and you want to know the best badges, they're on the screen right now. And as well, there's also a badge glitch. Go follow me on Twitter and I'm out. Peace.